Welcome. Hi, Ted.
Welcome. What's up, Yvonne? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to Unleashing Your Potential with your coach, Ted
Oh,
Bogart.
that's me, Coach Ted. Coach Ted. Throw him in. It's not the foosball, it's the life stuff.
I love it. Oh, yeah, it's like Ted Lasso, right? Well, this is the
Yes. Oh,
business.
that was a great show.
I loved it.
I loved
Great,
every
great positivity. Well, look at your shirt. It matches our background.
Yeah, it does. I was just noticing that. This shirt has lots of different crazy colors in it. It's got a pretty cuff too.
Oh, I love it. Well, you're unleashing your Ted onto the world, right?
Yeah, God help you all.
Well, I am so glad we get to spend this time together. This is our Monday morning Unleashing Your Potential with Ted.
Yes.
And this is all about how you are going to be helping and are helping people in business as well as realtors building their businesses, bringing them to another level through your, gosh, I don't even know if I want to say it's like 30 plus years of
It's all right. You can say it's a baby. Started as a baby. Yeah, 30 plus years. That seems crazy, but it's true.
Absolutely.
Insane.
Well, and so what I like to do is have a little slideshow, and what we're going to be talking about today, which I think is really timely and topical, is how people can boost their business. We got to stop panicking. We have to rein it in
We
and
do.
be calm.
I think people are it's kind of like this. It's a thought process with reality TV. You get caught up in all of this stuff that really isn't real. And then you have people who love to feed the fire. They love to stir the pot. They love to do all of that stuff. And then people get up in a frenzy, and then they don't know how to come down. They don't know how to calm down. They don't know how to really take a look at things. And so much of what's going on, especially in the real estate world, there's changes, but not. And all of you are capable of addressing those and rising to that occasion, I think.
Well, I think, business, and as it is in real estate, is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
You have to go into any type of business venture with some kind of fortitude and stamina. And you're going to do that with every day. It's a daily, step by step process. It's not, it's a journey. It is not a destination.
Correct. I agree. I totally agree. I think this is the next thing that a lot of people are going to worry about, just like they worried about interest rates for a while on the one side, or you can pick any topic and you can make yourself fearful and have analysis paralysis, and then you don't progress or do better in your business or succeed. And so I think it's easy for those people who like to get caught up in that to stay caught up in it. But most of the people I know want to figure out a way to address it head on. And that's what we do. That's what I do.
Absolutely. So every show that we do, we'd like to bring you some, like a little bit of an education, where we're bringing you some tools that you can utilize. Yeah. And this is the kind of information and tools that you would get when you're doing your one-on-one private coaching with Ted, so that you can build your business. So we're going to share a little bit of the mentality and the tools that they can use. And this topic is 4 ways to boost your business.
Yeah, we all use that. I think we all want it. But I think that a lot of people there's so many different people out there telling in my opinion, very long-winded ways of boosting your business. And there are some simple ways to really rein it in. So I love this one. Go ahead.
Just ask. We've had this debate with not you and I, because we're on the same page, but other people have said, well, organically business is just going to come to me because I bring value and I do. And yes, you're not wrong. So none of you, don't write me any letters. As Judge Judy would say, don't send me any letters because I'm not going to read them anyway. That's exactly what she says. So we're on the same page. Yes, you have to come from value. Yes, you have to provide people knowledge, education, and such, and they will work with you. But at some point, even with all of that, there is called the ask. And if you are not being trained well or given the right mindset, if you're told that you don't need to ask.
I agree. And so that was my word for 2023 was ask. And I think even in my world, I got business because of what I did over the 30 years, but I knew that there was a missing piece. And so asking, even for me, after all this time, wasn't the easiest thing for me to do. And so I can empathize with people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to ask for the business. But how are you going to stay in business if you don't ask for the business? And asking doesn't mean you're shoving business cards down people's throats or you're only talking about what you do at every party. So people are like, oh God, guess who's here? The person only talks about their own ish all day long. You don't want to be that person. There are ways to ask where you're just putting it out there and it's not necessarily passive. It's just in a way that's comfortable for you. But if you don't do the ask, and I can help you with that, we can formulate ways for you to do that that work in your comfort zone, but that are actual real calls to action.
Absolutely. And with this NAR proposed settlement,
Yeah,
the whole entire the overarching theme is they are now going to need to ask. You always needed to ask.
you did.
So
You
now,
did.
now you need skill sets to do it better. That's it.
Correct. That is absolutely correct. You have to have the skill sets.
So number one of 4 ways of asking for business is to ask for information. We call that staying in discovery.
Love
And
it.
Ted, it's all about asking the right questions, right? The person will see that you have value and that you are interested with active listening when you stay in discovery. So you're asking for information. So when
I
I say
agree.
you ask for business, I'm not saying, hey, would you buy my stuff? Hey, would you, we got in line without any kind of pretext to it? By asking the who, the why, the what, the where, the when, and the how, you're going to be able to take that information and obtain that so that you can have the best offering to the client that sits before you.
You have to, and I think the active listening thing is so important. You have when you ask the information, like I like to ask questions. Um, I love that. All right, Juliana. Hi, Juliana. I love to ask questions, but I sit back and actually wait for the answer. I'm not formulating my response. This is a big thing going around. There's a big meme going around. There's all of this stuff. It's true. You have to sit and actually listen. So ask the questions. What's going on? What's challenging you? Where in your business would you like to have a partner? Ask them for information like Yvonne has put up there, but then you have to listen. You can't just jump in and go, well, I got 12 programs for that. Which one would you want? It's like the guy selling watches in New York City. Hey, you don't like that one? I got 40 other ones here in my coat. You can't, you have to really listen to what they say. And you have to really care about the fact that this is something that is important to them. So stay
Well,
in discovery is important.
I love that. And Juliana, to answer your question, that's like another whole show, because the reason why it's so difficult for people to ask doesn't come from not only not having the knowledge of the things that we're bringing you today. These things are going to help. But really the underlying problem for a lot of people is that they don't find value in themselves. Their
Correct.
self-worth is lower than it should be.
Yes.
You see, so yeah, so it's not about
Imposter syndrome. We
exactly.
don't believe we're worthy or value. We don't bring value. So we're just going to spout out as much information as possible and hope some of it sticks.
I think women in general also have a difficult time of asking for things that they want. It's only because of how we've been raised to be maybe not everyone, but be quiet and be more accommodating,
Yes.
and more
We're
nurturing.
the nurturers.
Right. And for women, we take the word nurture and we put it in the wrong category of not asking for what we want.
Agreed.
So you can be
That's a whole nother show. I'd love to talk about
that. But another ask, remember, just ask, you're going to have to ask for referrals. It's an overall marketing strategy that increases your income, but only 1 out of every 10 business owners has a system in place for gathering referrals.
Can we talk about the qualified referral parts? So it's so important that you understand who a qualified referral is first before you begin spouting out, well, it's this or this or this or this or this. People get overwhelmed. You need to have, like, I know when I get asked that question a lot. And I used to say, well, anybody who's looking for a mortgage. I don't say that anymore.
Good, good.
I absolutely don't say that. And I know what my top 3 things in my brain are, depending on the person I'm speaking with. But I know the answer to that. And it can't be so vague that the person loses interest or doesn't know how to answer that, or it's too much for them to process. You have to know, and you have to know what qualifies that. You have to really understand your own process and what a qualified referral looks like before you go out there and start asking for them, my opinion.
Absolutely. So really super important as well is the ask has to also be asking for either written, I would prefer video testimonials. So that I've teach this in classes, and I know that Ted's going to be really, really extra helpful in this because he's so good on video. He's the one you want to sit down with when it comes to making this testimonial video. But it's the right time is going to be at the closing table when your customers are really happy. In this case, your clients are really happy. They're going to sing your praises. Your phone is your biggest tool to grow your business. And if Ted knows this better than anyone, he's the one you're going to want to sit down with when it comes to this.
And I thank you for that. I have a laundry list of do's and don'ts when it comes to video testimonials. I see the majority of them, my realtor family and friends, I see the majority of them and I cringe. And it's not because I don't think your heart's in the right place. It's just you're setting it up. You're thinking in a way that isn't human and relatable. And you're thinking more scripty and more, oh my God, how is this going to look on social media? And it comes across. I can see it and smell the fake. So yes, I have a lot of ideas about video testimonials. There are easy ways to tweak what you're doing. And just like Yvonne said, your phone, your biggest tool. It's an easy, quick thing. You just have to kind of have that relationship so that you know the questions to ask and you get a real feel, because those videos are worth their weight in gold.
It is so true. And there's so many ways to do it. And Ted he just knows all of these things that, it's so valuable. That's why I want people to sit with you and do the program you have, because they're going to be taken to a next level.
Right. Next level.
Next level. That's the whole purpose of going to any coach, is just bring your business to the next level. Exactly. And another ask is asking for the commission you want. This is a whole entire class that we're going to be talking about, that we're going to be coming up with. And it's something that, we should have had before. Shame on me. Because this was not something new. This is not new. This is the thing that you've always needed to do. John F. Kennedy says, let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. This is such a perfect quote. What's going on?
Well, like in the real estate world, though, what the issue has been is that most of it has been done for the agents that are freaking out the most. And so if you actually listen to some of the people who have a grip on what's going on in the real estate world, you see that they say the exact same thing. We have always had to negotiate. We have always had to negotiate. And I think a lot of people are just framing it in the wrong way and not seeing the big picture. You should not fear. Your services are valuable. That house is not going to get buyers to it if the negotiation isn't done properly on both sides. And everybody has to work together and collaborate, which most agents have done. So again, you have always been doing this, and you just got caught up in this frenzy and panic over nothing. So you just have to get back to basics. One of the things that I do in my coaching is we will really go through that, and I will show you how to do the negotiations, how to work the scripts, the things that are super important for you moving forward, because you are going to have to answer to consumers. Don't go the opposite way either. Don't go, well, I've always done it, so I don't need to know how to answer. That is not true. Wow. You need to know how to answer.
Can't even fathom someone saying that, but that makes sense that someone might do that.
Yeah,
So absolutely. So there's 6 ways listed there of negotiating commission rates and to be successful in doing so. Each one of those will be something that's going to be brought up in the class that Ted and I are going to be bringing to you. And this is something that was always needed, and it will be becoming soon, very soon.
yes.
And then the ask for business. That's the the biggest one of all. Here's an amazing statistic. After doing a presentation about the benefits of their service, and this could be a realtor or a salesperson or anything, more than 60% of the time, the salesperson never asks for the sale.
Yes.
So
Why
is that? Well, it's because of that psychological effect of being fearful of the answer. Then there also self-doubt. Did I present well? Did I say everything that I needed? All of these self-doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want business, you must ask for business.
And when's the best time to do it? Like, you're there, you just did this solid presentation. Why would you go, well, I'm going to let you think on that? Like, you have to ask. And I think all of us have struggled with it in the past. You want to say it in the right way. And so then you get caught up in reading a whole bunch of books on how to do it, or you're going to do anything but do the ask for the business. And I think I believe it is so important to do it right then and there. You've already given them the show of a lifetime. You presented them. For realtors, their property inside out. For business owners, that your product is better and best and your service is best. Ask for the sale right then. And that gives this confidence to that. It's added confidence that I know sometimes you don't feel it, but I promise you, the more that you practice it, the more that you'll see the results from it.
Absolutely. And Ted and I, we subscribe to people who are successful in sales. We listen, we take in all the tidbits. Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, as crazy as that movie was, he has a book that's called The Way of the Wolf. And it does talk about exactly this. When someone gives you they can't do business with you right now, he gives you the loops, he calls it, the ways that you're going to get to the real root of the issue of why they can't do something now. And if you learn loops, which we can teach, and believe me, it's a teachable skill set, that is going to change your business.
Agreed.
So it's designed to get the yes and moving away from the no. Really important. But 5 ways to effectively ask. This is a little bit of bonus. These are things that you're going to be learning one-on-one at a very high level. This is just kind of an overview of what happens in coaching. This is not to be the definitive prescription. So this is just an overview. But asking clearly, so important. What is it you want? Just come out and say it.
And I need you to have practiced that and know it before you begin asking, because you can't ask clearly on the fly unless you've done it for 30 years, or unless that you have to really know what you want to ask, and you have to be able to project that and discern that information to people so that they understand it. Just like Yvonne has up here, vague or funny questions. Vague. Oh my God, the vague questions. Well, I do mortgages. So can I have your next mortgage? I mean, this just the sheer insanity of some of the things that I have heard people present. But I'm not blaming you all. I'm just saying that that's why you get with the coach. That's why you have to practice and you have to implement these things in, day out.
Skill sets need to be practiced. They cannot be done in a void. You can't sit in a room by yourself and simply read a book. You need to have that practice between books are great. No, and I know you and I both, Ted, know people who consistently read, and that's awesome. It's amazing, but they're not putting it into practice because they don't have anyone to practice with, or they're waiting for the opportunity rather than making that opportunity happen with a coach.
That's right. Agreed.
Asking with confidence. This is something that, again, people don't wake up or born with confidence. They develop confidence. They do that with having the open mind and heart to receive the response. Okay, every time when I was much younger, I always had my managers that I worked with. They would tell me, Yvonne, you're very coachable. you listen and you implement the things that the feedback is given to you, and you don't take it personally. Now, that was something I learned. It wasn't something I was born with.
And
So
I think you ask with confidence. I want you all not to confuse that with ask with arrogance.
totally.
There's a huge difference in that. So the open mind and heart should separate out the arrogance from the confidence, because a lot of people ask things arrogantly, because there's a big difference between thinking that your ish doesn't stink and actually listening to what the client needs from you or wants from you. And so I've seen a lot of people present asking arrogantly. It's an immediate turnoff. I don't know anybody who loves that kind of approach. So I want to
Yeah,
encourage you to do
I've
that.
seen that. I've seen coaches who say things like, I've helped so many people. Don't you think I would be the best person for you? Like almost like in an arrogant way. And I don't think, I mean, that's working for that person, but I have to remind everyone, you're going to cultivate your tribe. So it's okay to be who you are and to be not hesitant and to be certain of what your skills are and your value sets are. And you're going to have the people who want to do business with you. They're going to resonate with that. So I'm not saying don't be you, but just realize that you just be confident in your skill sets and say that with things that you need to say with not any hesitation.
Yeah.
And then asking consistently.
Isn't it amazing how we ask once, don't get the response we want, and then we move along after all of the work that we have done to get to the point where you can ask or where you feel good asking. The consistency part, I think, is where most people fall. I asked them once, they said no, or they said not now, and so I'm never going to ask them again. The problem is they might have just said no for that moment, and you're missing out on an opportunity to build that relationship, providing them value, and actually asking in a consistent manner. I get more business, truly, from the second or third go round than I do from the first. And it's because I ask consistently.
Absolutely. 4 or 5 no's is what people generally hear before they get a yes. And sales is a universal. So it doesn't matter whether you're selling cupcakes, selling, timeshare, or you're selling, helping people find a home. You're going to get no's. You're going to get objections. You have to be prepared to overcome those objections. And you will do so when you are putting it into practice. And being creative, ask creatively. Okay, this is a huge thing for all of you. You're going to get lost in the crowd, okay? You are one of 10 million agents. Not technically, it's like whatever, 2 million. Still 2 million. There's 2 million. But, when it comes to branding, if it's a Keller Williams agent and, if there's a Remax agent, you're one of tens of thousands of your kind. So, the way you're going to get yourself out there is to do the ask. That means you're marketing creatively. Okay, showcasing your uniqueness. Okay, and I can't spread. And Ted is the one. I mean, look at Ted. Ted is going to be able to definitely help you with the branding. You all who've known him know he knows how to create that atmosphere.
Thank you. I did a video this weekend, and I'm an older guy learning the new tricks, but I definitely understand the creativity. And it's about vacant land, and I used William Tell Overture music, if you're old enough to know The Lone Ranger. I had a scene from Far and Away where they're going after the land rush. And I got more responses from that because anybody can do vacant land. That's what this was about. But I was like, I have got to make it all about Ted. I have to be creative. It has to be funny. It has to be engaging. And that's the creativity that you want. Yeah. Because you're your brand. We could do a whole discussion on that. You are the brand, you are the person, and you have to speak from your voice, not what you think everybody else on social media is doing.
Absolutely. It's so important. And you couldn't be in better hands with Ted. So it's really important. And then this is another one that that Ted's going to be able to help you with. It's about asking sincerely. It's about dropping the image, the facade, the selling sunset kind of thing. And being willing to be vulnerable. Yeah. The stories that people gravitate to is not in your successes, but in your struggles.
Absolutely. And I think people have been taught. There are coaches out there that believe they're Army sergeants, and I have many Army sergeant friends, so I take that as a compliment. But when you're talking to somebody who is in business, a lot of times that comes across as very bullying, and so they've been taught to be fierce and forceful, and there's no sincerity in what the speak is between the customer and or the potential customer, the referral source, and you. And so speaking sincerely and sharing your struggles, I do a lot of sharing my struggles on social media. I mean, I'm an open book almost to a point where maybe y'all are getting tired of that, but I feel like it has done so much better than just the cookie cutter. Hey, look, I closed this loan and here's exciting news. Or I got this review and this is my 50th 5-star review. There's a place for that. But if that's all you're doing, you're not showing anything about you. And so I think the sincerity and asking sincerely is critical.
Absolutely. These are things that people that if you when you work with Ted, you're going to be able to have that that knowledge of how to do so at a high level. And we wanted to also announce we have a new get together. This is a really specific one. We're calling this Winning Wednesdays with your coach Ted Bogert. This is for Ted's going to be leading the conversation. He is, if you've been to any of our meetings, a lot of the time I do a lot of the talking, and I'm going to be stepping back. Ted is going to bring his uniqueness, his way of doing things to the table. We want to have you have the experience. So this is this is a coaching session that we keep it small. We keep it intimate. It's for only those people who are looking for answers to challenges that they're experiencing. So, are we serious? Yeah, we can be a little serious, but we also have a lot of fun.
We have so much fun. And that's the thing. I think that people think of a mastermind or coaching as if it's going to be all tell you what's wrong, or you're going to compare yourself to other people and people are going to make fun of you. I mean, not to your face. I'm kidding. But I think the whole point of it is I've got a lot of ideas on how you can grow your business and how you can grow just in anything that you want to do. It doesn't have to be, I think realtors are really going to get a lot from this, but I feel like that you will grow personally, which then will help grow professionally. And sometimes those things, it doesn't matter which way you're going, it's going to impact the other in a positive way. And so we want to have some real conversations, but I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot of laughter because there is at every single one of these that we do. But I'm excited to take the lead. Yvonne does an amazing job, and I usually pipe my 2 or 4 or 10 cents in. But I have some really cool ideas on some things that I want to share with you that I know are going to help your business.
Absolutely. Just an example, our last meeting, we had an agent who was brand new, 2 months into the business. He was 19 years old or 20 years old, not even old enough to drink. But he was wonderful. He asked really in-depth questions. And we had 2 broker owners in the room who also attended, and their wisdom was brought to the room.
It was beautiful.
It was a great experience. You guys are missing out if you don't come to exchange your challenges and finding solutions with people who are there. They're in it to win it. So Winning Wednesdays, please join us starting April 10th at 2 p.m. at the Castle here in College Park. You can scan right there at the top. The top scan is going to get you registered so that we know how many people are coming. And then the bottom is when you're ready. That QR code is only when you're ready to have the conversation about, I want to move my business to the next level. I want to work with Ted. It's a 15-minute call. You're going to have that with me. I'm going to go over the program, get you up and started working with Ted through Zoom. It's what you need to do this is only for serious people, obviously, people who want to take it to the next level. So when you're ready, scan the bottom, but join us in person to have the experience, the TED experience on April 10th, 2 p.m. And any of our events, please visit getleverage365.com, and also Ted's Facebook page, his link tree. Lots of things for you to have that one-on-one time right before you get into your coaching, which is going to bring you to the next level.
The next level, people. I'm ready.
So thank you so much, Ted. Look forward to seeing you.
Appreciate you guys so much.
Awesome. And we'll see you again on next week. That's every Monday at 1 p.m. And have a great week, everyone.
Have a great week, everybody.